Alright, so I'm going to pause on all these homework questions because I think I was able to answer most of them just by having you try different ones. Did -2 work for you? Yeah? Okay. Did you try -1? Did that work for you too? Okay, so there's 2 zeros with me. Now you just got to find the other 2. Okay. So this week we're back in full this week. Okay. So today we will finish up 5.6. Tomorrow I believe is 5.7, which is kind of an extension of everything, and then Wednesday and Thursday is going to be more of 5.7. There is a formative this week, Friday, be in the Resource Center for you. Okay? And then next week, Monday, we'll review Chapter 5, and then we'll take a test on Tuesday of next week. Okay? So that's what we're gearing towards. So okay. So, steps to finding rational zeros. Okay. First, you find all the possible ones by dividing factors of p and by factors of q. So that's the constant term, factors of the constant term, divided by factors of your lead coefficient. Right? Okay. So that narrows it down from infinite to a bunch. Right? Usually there's like 12 or more in that bunch. Okay? Then what you can do is you can use a graphing utility. By graphing utility, I mean you could use a graphing calculator. You could use, there's some websites out there that allow you to graph functions. There's some apps that you can use on your phone that are relatively ineffective or cost ineffective, okay, to find those. So you can graph it and narrow it down. So then, Riley, you don't have to try. You know what I mean? Okay? So that's going to narrow it down. Okay? And then we synthetically divide out to get the other zeros, factor when we can finally factor it, or quadratic formula if it's not factorable. Okay? Got to show your work. You can't just say that, well, that's a zero to the function. Okay? You got to show your work by showing the synthetic division then on it. Okay? So, let's try this one. 2x to the 4th plus 5x cubed minus 18x squared minus 19x plus 42 gets me my function. Okay? So, first off, let's start by doing step number 1, which is listing all the possible zeros. Okay? So what are factors of 42? 1, 2, 3 go in there? 6, 7, 14, 21, 42, right? And then 1/2. 2 halves is 1. 3 halves. 6 halves is 3. 7 halves. 14 halves is 7. 21 halves. 42 halves is 21. Okay? So that's all of my possible zeros, which would be kind of a pain to try and start doing this and then not have it work out for us the best. graphing utility to graph this. So it was, whoa, tap the brakes, 2x to the 4th plus 5x cubed minus 18x squared. Oh, tap the brakes. Minus 18x squared minus 19x plus 42. Okay. So, what does that tell me? There's 4 zeros, right? Okay. What's one that I should try first? -2? Because I have to divide all of this top row by the second factor of my lead coefficient, which is 2. Factors of 42 are the top row, right? Okay. And then what are the factors of 2? 1 and 2. So I can divide the top row by 1, and I got to divide the top row by 2. Okay. So let's try -2. So if I put -2 in there, my coefficients again were 2, 5, -18, -19, and 42. -4, 1, -2, -20, +40, 21, -42, 0. Right? So -2 is a 0, which means x plus 2 is a factor. Right? So now I can write my function as x plus 2 times what? 2x cubed plus x squared minus 20x plus 21. Can I factor 2x cubed plus x squared minus 20x plus 21 yet? No, can't factor that. It's not groupable. Okay? Back to my graphing utility. What's the next one that I should choose? Three halves. Okay. 3 halves is probably going to be one of these two, right? Okay. So let's do 3 halves but let's do 3/2 on that one. Two. 4. 6. 0. Reason green doesn't want to work. Right? So now my function is this. Whoa, that's like funkiness. I kind of like it. But at the same time, I want it to go away. There. Stay over there. Okay? Now what? Because that's not factorable, is it? Okay. So then let's look at 2x squared plus 4x minus 14 equaling 0. Negative 4 plus minus the square root of 16 minus 4 times 2 times negative 14 all over 2 times 2. Oh, let's see. 28 times 4, what's that? 112? Yeah? Plus 16 is 128. Let's see. 4 goes in there, what? 32 times? That means 64 goes in there twice. Let's go that way instead. Now remember that it's got to come out of both of them in order for it to factor out. Is there a number that goes into 4, 8, and 4? 4 goes in there. So that gives me an x value here of negative 1 plus or minus 2 square roots of 2. So my 4 zeros are -1 plus minus 2 square roots of 2, 3 halves, and -2. Needed 4, got 4. Okay? You try that one. So this one wouldn't have been so bad because there's only 6 possible zeros, right? Okay? Alright? But let's graph it anyways. X to the 4th. And then what was it? Minus 16x squared. Then plus or minus 40x plus 25 or minus 25. Okay. Right? So that gives me zeros at so the first one that I'm going to try is going to be -1. And what's that, 5? So those are my 2 possible ones that I'm going to start with. So then that would be 1, 0 for the x cubed. -1, -1, -1, 1, -15, 15, -25, 25, 0. Okay. So I got that one. So now f of x is x plus 1 times x cubed minus x squared minus 15x minus 25. Now I'm going to work the 5. On this 1, -1, -15, -25. One, 5, 4, 20, 5, 25, 0. So now f of x is x plus 1 times x minus 5 times x squared plus 4x plus 5. Two numbers that multiplied together to be 5 and add to be 4. Don't have them, right? Okay. So we can go x plus 1 equals 0. X minus 5 equals 0. x squared plus 4x plus 5 equals 0. So x is going to be negative 4 plus minus the square root of 16 minus 4 times 1 times 5 all over 2. So that is negative 4 plus minus the square root of negative 4 all over 2. So that is negative 4 plus minus 2I all over 2. So x here is going to be negative 2 plus or minus I. Right? Now, some of you heard me say on Wednesday that directions were important. Right? Okay? What were the directions in this particular one? Find all the zeros. Okay? So when it says find all the zeros, then my answers are negative 1, positive 5, and negative 2 plus or minus I. When you did this one in your homework, it just said find all the real zeros. So the answer for your homework would only be negative 1 and 5. But now that I changed the directions, that changes the answer. Casey, you had a question?
I was wondering if you could scroll back up to see where I didn't catch it.
Which word?
Way up there.
Okay.
So then you're pulling out the next 5 from the graph.
Mm-hmm.
Could you pull out the 5 and then the 1?
Mm-hmm. Your numbers would be different, but yes. In the end, after you get done pulling them both out, you should get this blue line right here. Okay? So you would get that line right there after you get done with both of them. But your numbers would be different above that if you did it in a reverse order. Okay? Homework this evening is a worksheet. And there is a formative on Faraday.